Hello YouTube, it's Chris Wazo just checking in really with a pipe that I've made for somebody, and I thought I'd go through my top tobaccos as well, why not? Anyway, there's a guy in the States called Jay, and he asked me to, he saw the pipe that I made in the box set with the other sort of up and coming pipe makers, and messaged me on Instagram saying that there was something about that shape that I do, the trumpet, but he liked straight pipes, and could I do a straight trumpet, which I've never done before. So I said, yeah, I'll give it a go. And so I made that pipe for him. Halfway through making, I think I just drilled the stem, and then I caught COVID, and he was super understanding and just said, it is what it is. Get back in touch when you've done your isolation and you're ready to rumble. So I did. While I was off, I realised that he's got a podcast with another guy called Pipe and Tamper, and it's absolutely huge. So I think I felt a little bit of pressure to produce something good. Yeah, but he wasn't like that at all. He's been super cool all the way through it. Really nice, easy to deal with guy, but I guess quite an important pipe for me in that respect. So anyway, here it is. We sort of talked a lot. Jay was after a natural, whatever the briar dictated for the finish is what he said to me. So from that I took, if I can get a natural smooth out of it, fantastic. Otherwise we'd be looking at staining and other such stuff. And so I just kept him in the loop, like I do with all my sort of customers. And I went through the process with him the same. When I make pipes, I like to involve the person who I'm making the pipe for. I really welcome any feedback or anything that they want changing about it, and that way I enjoy the process more. They feel part of the process, which I think probably makes them feel more attached to the pipe once they receive it, and I definitely know that I've got close to what they had in their mind. So that's why I do it, and it seems to work well for me. Anyway, so here is Jay's straight trumpet. There we go. I'm just going to give that a little polish. It's cold today, so it could do with a little rub. There we go. Lovely straight grain. This is it's a non-filter, and this is an Eldritch stem, which is a ivory and white Cumberland that Chris makes for me, that I requested. Really nice, elegant. I think it might even be more elegant than the one that I do with the bend. I think it shows off more of the grain, and it certainly shows off this aspect a lot better. But I love the bent one as well, so no snags there. There you go. Evidence of some ring grain showing up there. And I cleaned up and stained the plateau and give them a bowl coating there. It looks black on the camera. It's actually a series of browns. So when it catches the light, you get some sort of redness coming through. Gives it some character, some depth. But yeah, super happy with how that turned out. And I will get that off when you sort of get in under here. and flare it out, you create flame grain because you cut across the grain slightly. So yeah, sorry, it's a bit. It's the natural daylight. There you go. You can see the oil and wax there. What it's done with the grain. So that'll be going off to Jay. What have I got coming up? I've got a couple of pipes that I'm making at the minute. Billiard, which I'm trying to sort of freehand. It'll be it's a sort of a prototype, so it'll end up being mine. So I'll mess around with some stains and stuff with that as well. But Bruno Nuttons, when I was messaging with him a couple of weeks ago, sort of he's been quite good at giving me some pointers on equipment and things like that. And obviously I'm with the group of all the new sort of pipe makers and Chris Kelly as well, still very much involved in that. But Bruno was saying, it's a really good exercise to try and do a freehand shaping of a billiard. So I'm kind of working on that at the minute. And yeah, it's right. You really sort of start to get a feel for shape a lot better. So it's an interesting exercise, doing well. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing at the minute, and then I've got another couple of commissions coming up later on in the month, beginning of next month. So yeah, that's kind of the housekeeping side of things. Had quite a weird drive back from the restaurant last night. It's really rare. It's not rare to see wildlife here. Certainly late at night when I'm driving back from work, there's deer, there's all sorts of creatures, foxes, and in the daytime, hundreds of squirrels and things like that. And if I go sort of trekking up in the mountains, I see the ibex and things. But last night, first time ever in this part of France, I saw a wild boar just crossed the sort of the drive up. This road is maybe 400 or 500 meters, and I just sort of turned off the main road onto the drive, and this wild boar just kind of trotted across in front of the car. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, that was cool. Anyway, so sorry, table's wobbling. So I thought I'd share with you my favourite tobaccos. All of which are available. I have favourite tobaccos that you can no longer get. But my number ones in each sort of category that I smoke, I don't really tend to smoke aromatics. It's very rare. So let's start. So my favourite Virginia tobacco that I smoke, that I think is head and shoulders above anything that I've tried so far, is Jermaine's medium flake, and it is it's just stellar. Hard to get hold of, I know, as with all Jermaine's tobaccos, and I do have other Virginias that I like. I might do a top 5 of each kind of type of tobacco that I smoke, but for the time being, yeah, medium flake, absolutely lovely. Such good sweet flavours, grassy notes, balance. It's bready. It sort of ticks all the boxes that a good quality Virginia should tick, and it only gets better with age. But fantastic. It's fairly new to me. I only started smoking it last year, so that is absolutely a belter. Then vapor, I've picked my number 2 vapor, which is St James's Flake by Samuel Gowith, mainly because it's difficult for me. I can only get it when I go back to the UK, when I go to Sonny's shop in Nottingham. Sonny Samry, he's got a fantastic B&M in which area of Nottingham is it? Oh, my brain's gone. He'll hate me for that. Good tobacconist, top guy. Go in there and he'll chat to you for an hour, and you walk out a couple of £100 light in the pocket because he's such a nice guy. And a great salesman. But the Gareth Hogarth number 27 flake is my favourite vapor of all time so far. But as I can't get that, St James's flake is the one that I sort of go to. So in terms of smoking it more regularly, St James's flake is the boy. Then sort of burly Kentucky sort of category. For me, it's McBaron's HH Old Dark Fired. It's meaty and smoky, kind of smoked meat, hearty, really good on a cold day. Not too high on nicotine that it makes you want to sit down, but it's head and shoulders above anything else that I've tried in sort of the Kentucky burley sort of category. I do find with I prefer Kentucky over burley. I think burley seems to, for some reason, feel like it's got more nicotine to me, and there's something that the sort of dry flavour about it that I don't like as much as the sort of the meaty, smoky Kentucky. Then favourite Latakia blend, Latakia, however you want to say it, potato, is another Jermaine's, is special Latakia flake, and that is just stellar. I've said before, I think maybe on the previous video, but that's the one for me. I like Latakia. I like plenty of Latakia blends, but that one is the one. When I smoke it, I know it's the one. And so finally, for anyone who's out there in America or doesn't live in the UK or have ties to the UK like I do, it's a Lakeland. It's got Lakeland. It's very light Lakeland. I do like Lakeland tobaccos, but you don't often see anything on YouTube about this blend. When people are reviewing Lakelands, it's never on the list. I can only assume that it's difficult to get hold of over in the States, for example. You hear people talking about Ennerdale, Cob Plug, and the like, Grousemore, all of those, but you very rarely hear about what is, in my view, the very best Lakeland blend out there, and probably my desert island tobacco, which is Reaver Plug by Gareth Hogarth. It's currently by Gareth Hogarth. I think it's been made by other people previously, but I couldn't tell you who. And it's again, it's got Kentucky in it, and it's fire cured Virginias and fire cured Burley, basically, which is Kentucky, and it's pressed, hot pressed, I think, possibly, or maybe cold pressed. I'm getting confused. Anyway, it's pressed into a plug, which just crumbles away in your fingers. You don't really need to show it a knife. Super dark, moorish, and the very light Lakeland essence that sort of runs along with it is kind of condimental rather than the driving force, and it is an absolute banger. And people who although it's a Lakeland, I kind of club it in a category with maybe Rich Dark Flake or something, and Rich Dark Flake kind of gets all the glory from Jermaine's, and for me, Reaver Plug knocks its socks off. It's an absolute belter. So there we go. Those are my my top 5 all-time tobaccos that I smoke. there's no point in getting into aromatics and things like that. I very rarely touch them. So there you go. I'd be interested to see if anyone's got a similar top five or a totally different top five to me. But there we go. Um, so that's it. I shall be back possibly next week with maybe a tobacco review or something. The restaurant work's really ramping up now, so there's a lot of hours that need to be worked, which means that I'm a little bit on the go slow with the pipes, but I'm still finding the time to do them and enjoying the time when I do. So I'll cut it short there and catch up with you guys soon. Hope you're all doing fantastically well and having a nice winter, and looking forward to the spring. Okay, cheers. All the best.